Crushing Kayfabe. My name is Jason Garish, and I look a little bit disheveled. It's because I haven't been able to shave and whatnot, because we got hit with a real cold spell right before Christmas, and so I've never seen it before since living in Western Tennessee here. We were coming back from Jackson. We watched the temperature drop from like 45 to single digits. It was just absolutely crazy. I mean, the rain went from rain to snow very quickly. It was pretty spectacular. It was pretty crazy. Living in New England most part of my life, I still haven't seen much like that. And I've been through blizzards with 3 to 4 feet of snow, and just been crazy. But glad to be here. Unfortunately, because of the temperature drop, we did have an issue with the pipes, so we don't even have water right now. But I'm working on it. We'll work on it, and it's gonna be much warmer later on today and this week. So hopefully we can get that fixed up. I actually unfroze one of the pipes, and then it burst, unfortunately. So hopefully that won't happen again. But eventually I had to shut down the water and replace the pipe, and then, but unfortunately in the process of doing that had some more freezing. So we're dealing with that right now in Tennessee. It's been an interesting ride, and in addition to my wife's sister popping by to spend some of the holidays with us. Unfortunately, she had to leave early because she went to go to see her husband. He's a truck driver, and they screwed his plans completely up, unfortunately. But so she ended up having to leave early. The original plan was to have her stay for Christmas, but that didn't work out. She had to then go. A long story short, I won't give the whole details, but I ended up having to leave early to try to catch up with him, and they screwed up his plans again and sent him. So, real fun times. Hopefully, everybody had a great Christmas. I mean, we had an eventful Christmas, obviously. I got a ton of stuff. Really cool things. Some really cool Blu-rays, DVDs. The video right now is probably going to look very different because I'm recording with a different camera. Obviously, we had some of the video issues, so I'm trying something a little different here, and hopefully this works out. But yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. Like I said, through winter and whatnot. And the crazy thing is, it's going to be later on this week. It's going to be 60s. So welcome to Tennessee. I'm used to being out, in short sleeves around Christmas time out there. But fortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, I wasn't able to get to watch SmackDown. Really didn't catch a whole lot of WWE television. Like I said, but with the holidays with family here, it was a little bit tough. But did get to watch one of the movies that my wife got for me, American Underdog, Kurt Warner's story, and I know it's gotten some really horrible reviews, but I actually enjoyed it thoroughly. I liked it. Was a cliche, all the things. Yeah, it was, but still, it was based on Kurt Warner's life, and very uplifting. It is a faith-based movie, but it doesn't hit you over the head with that. It has its moments, but it's I think someone who's not Christian, or someone in the secular world could still view the movie and enjoy it immensely. I mean, it's a real, like I said, it's a real positive, real uplifting movie. Kind of shows the tribulations of what Kurt Warner had to go through to get to the pros, and what him and his family, him and his wife, had to go through in really interesting fashion. It really shows. Really, in a lot of ways, it's kind of a love story between them two. Because I don't think without her he would have ever made it. Because they, at least based on what I saw in the movie, I don't know how true that is. But it's interspersed with some real life footage too, which is real cool. You get to kind of watch, compare the characters with the actual. Was it Zach Levy or Levi or whatever, however his name is pronounced, is the guy who plays Shazam, plays Kurt Warner in it, and then I think they have Anna Paquin or Packin, once again, however you pronounce that, as his wife. So it had some good acting. I've seen that be um, a detriment that's been said within reviews to it, but to tell you the truth, in comparison to a lot of the faith-based movies I've seen, this was almost at Oscar caliber in comparison. I'm gonna try and make this a short show because like I said again, I don't know how long my battery on this phone is on this camera is gonna last and whatnot. So try to get to the point real quickly. And since I didn't see a whole lot of WWE programming, I don't have a whole lot to talk about on that front. Did watch half of the Raiders game. I actually fell asleep at halftime. I was laying down just watching the game, fell asleep, and it just, what can I say? Another collapse. I mean, this is becoming historic, and Josh Jacobs had some comments afterwards. Were they professional? That's questionable. I don't know. I mean, but I completely understand his point of view. He's very frustrated. He's obviously a very passionate, very fiery guy, and it's disheartening to see. I blame a lot of the play calling, and usually don't like to say this, but I blame Derek Carr. I blame him. With some of the passes he threw were horrendous. Obviously it was very frigid temperatures in Green Bay, and they're not used to that. But a lot of his passes sailed away from him. Really didn't look good at all. The ones that were on the money were on the money, and they were crazy good. But then there were just ones that were not there. And I'm wondering if because he chose not to wear a glove on one hand, I'm wondering if that had an effect. Maybe he should have tried wearing the glove. Because Lord knows I spend that much time out in the cold. And sometimes I used to ski all the time. I worked at a ski resort at one point, and I know it's like when you get into really frigid temperatures. I've skied in -15 before, and any part of you that's exposed is going to not be healthy afterwards. Let's put it that way. But it's really I don't understand how someone could throw like that. So maybe that was the wrong decision not to wear two gloves. But it showed up in whatever it was. I mean, it obviously affected his play because his play was not, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't think it was on par with what I expect out of Derek Carr. So we got that. Like I said, a lot of things going on. Yes and no. I shouldn't say that, but interesting season this year as far as the NFL goes. Like I said, I think everything, success of a football team starts at the top, and blame a lot of it on the coach. And I think McDaniels is making some really bad choices sometimes. And Jacobs had a point. They're having success with the run, and should have based that offense, that game, right off the run. I mean, right now Jacobs is the best running back in the NFL. You can't really argue that. His stats are showing it right now. Whether or not he's gonna break down the latter half going towards the home stretch here, but he's been the best. He's been great, and now he's a captain of the team. So all I gotta say to him is choose your words wisely. I realize that you're very frustrated, very disappointed, but select your words wisely, because when you're a captain like that, everything you say has an effect on the team, has an effect on the ownership, has an effect on the fans. And when you see as a fan, when you see a player that's a captain of that caliber kind of lashing out, you kind of what's the words I'm looking for? It's a little disheartening sometimes. You like to see it and you don't. It's because it looks like you're bashing a team and management at the same time, though you're echoing the fans' sentiment. Sorry, more coffee. So it's kind of a weird situation to be in, but you're representing your brand and you're representing the team as a brand, and you've got to make intelligent remarks that are going to affect the future of the team in the best possible way. So the best head coaches deliver the most calculated lines. They don't say anything that's going to expose their hand or be detrimental towards the team. So you gotta be careful sometimes what your wording is and what you choose to say. I guess that is what I'm babbling on about. Sorry, but yeah, like I said, I'm gratefully I fell asleep during the second half. Thankfully, I didn't really get to see a whole lot of the WWE. Obviously, they're setting up for the Roman Reigns match against against John Cena and whatnot in a tag team with Kevin Owens. So it'll be Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn versus versus Cena and Owens. Got a little bit more fallout from the whole Mandy Rose thing. I still think it was a calculated move on her part to breach contract, to break the contract, and go on about her way and make more money that way without busting her head open every week. Um, I said last week she made a lot of progress. I was really looking forward to her being on the main roster because she made significant strides in her wrestling and her character. And I was kind of disappointed, but she's got to, maybe she's thinking about having a family. Maybe she's thinking about setting their future up for that. And I can't blame her at all for doing what she did. I can't. I'm sorry. Did she breach contract? Absolutely. I haven't seen a whole lot of the photos. I really haven't been looking for them, but the ones I've seen have been almost tame in comparison to other stuff I've seen. But yeah, it's an obvious breach of contract, so they've got to do what they got to do. And a lot of podcasts have brought up other people have done things in the past. That was the past. It was a different regime. Things were different then. Some of those things were done before WWE was even a corporation, so the rules didn't apply back then. When you're a private company, it's very different. But when you get sponsors and you've got shareholders, you've got to answer to every single one of them. What do we have as far as AEW going on? I know I didn't get a chance, unfortunately, to watch Rampage, but I did get to watch Dynamite. Unfortunately, we had more of the Elite versus the Death Triangle. I was hoping this was gonna be the last match, but they're dragging this out, and it's killing me. I don't want to see the Elite on television. I might have to stop watching AEW. You had a brutal match between. I was gonna say it was a brutal match. I should say. I'm looking at my notes, and if I knew how to write, it would be a miracle. But it was a brutal match, and these guys shouldn't be killing each other every week. It's just stupid, and that's why Omega's body is the wreck that it is. And had a okay promo from Action Andre, the guy that Jericho beat, that everybody is caused a big uproar in the whole wrestling community because of it. I don't know if you guys know this, but that's what stars are supposed to be doing, especially when they get older and being on the way out. They're supposed to be laying down for the new up-and-comers. So, it looks like it's going to be a feud with the Jericho Appreciation Society versus Jericho versus this guy. That's going to continue. I hope it makes the guy. I hope it does. We had a good promo from Bryan Danielson setting up the MJF feud. That's going to be a good match. I don't care what anybody says. It was funny. I noticed one thing during the match is the way that they shot one of the camera angles. When they showed the Holiday Bash with the tunnel entrances, at one point it looked like Holiday Rash, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious. We had the Guns beating FTR by pulling the tights. That's a big one right there. It sets up that feud going on. Even more, FTR is obviously on a losing streak now, so they're going to play that up, But obviously, this doesn't hurt FTR. FTR is one of the greatest tag teams in the world, and I think everybody with a brain in their head knows that. We had a Swerve completed the his turn on Keith Lee. They had a spot in this with a cinder block I have never seen before, and I thought it was wild. Where Swerve came off the turnbuckle and broke a cinder block off Keith Lee. That was insane. That was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that before. I don't know if they use a trick cinder block for that, if that's a real cinder block, but that was impressive looking. I'm sorry. Man, I just got coffee on my AJ Styles sweatshirt. That's really disappointing. It must be so. It's 54 degrees in my studio right now. I don't have heat in the studio, so I'm probably losing feeling in my parts here. But yeah, there's a couple of things in the wrestling world there I just want to talk about. Other than that, not a whole lot. You know, obviously everybody was kind of winding down for the holiday season, setting up for the end of the year. You know, I think the next WWE shows are going to be pretty darn good, and it's going to be what was it, SmackDown? Well, both Raw and SmackDown are going to be the last of 2022, so we're going to get to see, Cena come back and do his one big match of the year, which will be his only match for 2022. I think he didn't want to break his, 20-year streak, I think, with matches in each year, which is insane when you think about it, but pretty wild. Kudos to the guy. He's done a lot, whether it be through acting or Make-A-Wish Foundation, whatnot. You can't really find much fault with John Cena. Was he boring at times? Yes, absolutely. But hey, he's one of the guys that helped save this company and keep it going after the Attitude Era, and and The Rock and Austin were gone and whatnot. So so you can't really looking back, I've earned a lot more respect than I used to have for him, because I couldn't stand watching Cena. But hey, he did a lot for this company, did a lot for wrestling, so did a lot as a humanitarian, like I said, with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I can't find a whole lot of fault with that. But let's start winding things down here. Let's first and foremost, let's if you can go and visit Crushing Kayfabe, Crushing with a K, crushingkayfabe.com. You'll have links to our other social media sites, and you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com. Go there and search for Crushing Kayfabe, Crushing with a K, and for just $1 a month, you can watch and listen to us for ad free, which I think is a pretty good deal for $1 a month. Obviously, you want to keep these lights on, hopefully, and keep the show going. I appreciate every single one of you that listens or watches. Thank you so much for doing so. Really, this has been a really cool thing for me to do for the last year, and I really appreciate the fact that people are actually tuning in and enjoying the show. And I've gotten some comments back and some requests. I won't be able to do requests for a while, unfortunately, because of the holiday season and because of what's going on right now. I'm going to be doing probably a whole lot of plumbing work. So it's going to be a little while, but we'll get back to that, and we'll keep going when life gets a little more normal, hopefully, because you get that lull in January where there's no holidays and everything just kind of slows down to a stop, and it gets miserable. But hopefully I can catch up on things during that time span. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone for enjoying the show. Check us out check Then and Now out in Trenton, Tennessee, because we carry some of our goods through there, and you can go check out my wife's stuff, Hooked by Jenna Lynn, and get some of my CDs. A lot of people don't realize probably that I'm also a singer-songwriter, so you can pick up some of my CDs there for $5. And we're going to have a little more merchandise moving over there, because we unfortunately had to leave Peggy's Attic just because supply and demand was just too great for what we could supply. So we're gonna have some of that stuff transferring over to Then Now soon. And check out. I haven't gotten an update, but But check out Trenton Tabletop and Arcade. I helped the owner move a pool table into the store, and I'm hoping that I know he had said he was going to reopen if he got that, and try to make a go of it again, because business has been extremely lean. Unfortunately, I guess not as much demand as he thought in the area for role playing games and arcade games, which is really sad because that was a huge part of my childhood. But please, if you get a chance, please check them out, I should say, on Facebook. That's Trenton Tabletop and Arcade, and give them some love and support. And I hope that they're reopening soon if they're not. But follow them and get some updates on them, because I know he was looking for somebody to assemble the pool table, and assemble it correctly. So I don't know if that's happened yet. I haven't gotten an update on that, unfortunately. But but I'm hoping that all goes well and we can get back to having his business open. Hopefully, during January, man, there's not a lot for kids to do outside, so it's gonna be cold. So go check them out, please. Go check them out. Send some love their way. Other than that, continue prayers for the Ukraine. They're obviously going through a tremendously difficult time right now. Send some prayers out to them. But other than that, like I said, unfortunately, it's gonna have to be a short show today. But thank you everyone for tuning in, and God bless. Thank you so much.